Ibadan is a city full of lights, but some streets stay dark even in broad daylight. This is the story of Amara, a girl whose dreams were stitched together with threadbare hope, and whose father's love came at a bloody cost. Some stories make you cry, some make you fear, and some make you question everything. This one might do all three. Amara was 17, bright eyes, quiet smile, and hands hardened by work. She lived in a small house behind her father's butcher shop. Her father, Papa Seyi, was known across Ibadan as the Quiet Cutter. Every morning at 4 a.m., while the city still slept, he'd open the doors, chop, slice, wrap, repeat. And Amara would sweep the floor, prepare the bags, greet the customers. She never complained, never questioned. That's how good daughters are raised, but behind her gentle eyes were questions she never dared to ask. One evening, just before closing, a stranger walked in, tall, dark, face half covered in a scarf. His voice was low, barely above a whisper. "I want something special." Papa Seyi didn't flinch. He nodded slowly. And from the back room, he brought out a small sealed package. No words, no price. Just a quiet exchange. The man left, and he came again. The next week, and the next. Each time the package grew heavier. Papa Seyi's eyes darker, and each time Amara watched and wondered. Curiosity is a quiet fire. Once lit, it won't stop burning. One Friday night, Amara followed her father. Quiet feet, trembling heart. He didn't go to the market. He didn't go to church. He walked into the forest. There, in a hidden clearing, men danced in circles, around a fire. Their faces were covered in carved masks. Their feet stomped the earth like drums. And in the center, the same man from the shop held a bowl filled with red liquid, chanting. It wasn't a dream. It wasn't a movie. It was real. Her father stood silently, watching. Then, from under his coat, he handed over another package, soaked in something wet. Amara gasped. The leaves under her feet cracked. Her father turned, but she was already gone. That night, she didn't sleep. The next morning, she waited for him in the shop, her hands shaking, her voice steady. "What are you doing, Baba?" Papa Seyi didn't answer at first. Then he sat down, slowly, looked at her like a man who hadn't looked at his daughter in years. "They pay me more in 1 week than I earn in 6 months, he said quietly. "It's not just meat, Amara. It's power. It's protection. They said, if I stop, they'll take you instead." Tears welled up in her eyes. "You were supposed to protect me, not offer me." He said nothing, and that silence cut deeper than any blade. Friday came again, but Papa Seyi was gone. He left no note, no message, just an unlocked shop and a daughter behind the counter. At sunset, the stranger returned. Same scarf, same silence. "Where's the man?" he asked. Amara looked him dead in the eye. "Gone," he leaned in, whispered like smoke. "Then the deal is broken, and broken deals bleed." He reached across the counter, but before he could touch her, Amara's hand moved fast. The knife was already in her palm. Years of watching, years of cutting, years of silence exploded in one slash. The scarf dropped. His scream echoed down the empty street. She didn't run. She didn't cry. She stood still, like her father once did. The next morning, the police found a man unconscious in the alley. Face cut, blood on his hands. No charges were filed, no questions were asked. No one spoke his name. The butcher shop never opened again. Papa Seyi was never seen again. Some say he walked into the fire that night and never came back. And Amara? She didn't become a butcher. She didn't become a victim. Today, She works at the Ibadan City Library, quiet, calm, reading stories of girls, like her, who never had one of their own, and sometimes, just sometimes, she looks at her hands, hands that once swept floors, now turn pages. Some stories are real, some are whispered in alleys and firelight, but one thing is true: the darkest places in a city are not always the ones without light. This was The Butcher's Daughter. If it touched your heart or haunted your thoughts, subscribe for more stories like this, because sometimes fiction tells the truth better than reality ever could.